Sterling Academy was no ordinary school. It was a haven for the wealthy, the privileged, and, if you asked certain students, the right kind of people. The unspoken rules were clear. Status mattered more than anything, and those who didn't fit the mold were often reminded of it. Among its many students, one girl stood out, not because she came from money or influence, but because she refused to back down. Raven Tate was not interested in drama. With only 5 minutes before AP Calculus and a quiz waiting for her, she had no time to waste. But fate had other plans. As she turned the corner, blocking her path was none other than Grant Wheeler, the school's most feared bully. Tall, broad-shouldered, and dripping with arrogance, Grant ruled Sterling Academy through intimidation. He had money, connections, and a nasty habit of treating people like they were beneath him. Today, his target was Raven. "Looks like somebody got lost," he sneered, his voice laced with mockery. Students slowed their pace, eager spectators to yet another display of Grant's cruelty. But Raven was different. She wasn't in the mood for his games. For too long she had ignored his taunts, but today felt different. "Move, Grant," she said firmly. That was his mistake, underestimating her. Because in that moment, Sterling Academy's hierarchy was about to be shaken forever. Grant Wheeler had ruled Sterling Academy for years. His towering height, athletic build, and well-connected family ensured that no one dared to challenge him. If he picked a target, the rest of the school knew better than to interfere. That day, however, Grant made a fatal mistake. He picked the wrong girl. Raven Tate had never been one to seek trouble. She had spent months ignoring Grant's snide comments, pretending his words didn't sting. But today, something inside her shifted. When he blocked her path, taunting her with his usual arrogance, she didn't shrink back. Instead, she met his gaze, unflinching. "Move, Grant. I don't have time for your garbage today," she said, her voice calm but firm. The smirk on Grant's face widened. He wasn't used to defiance. He stepped closer, his voice dripping with condescension. "Oh, you think you can talk to me like that?" He shoved her. It wasn't enough to knock her down, but the message was clear. A warning, a challenge, a test. Gasps rippled through the crowd. Phones were out, cameras recording. This wasn't just bullying anymore. This was entertainment. Raven tightened her grip on her backpack strap and exhaled slowly. If Grant thought she was going to back down, he was about to be proven very, very wrong. Before he could react, she moved. In one swift motion, she grabbed his arm, twisted her body, and flipped him over her shoulder. Grant Wheeler, the so-called king of Sterling Academy, hit the floor with a loud, sickening thud. For the first time in his life, he wasn't the one standing tall. He was on his back, staring at the ceiling, completely stunned. Silence. Then, an eruption of cheers. Students high-fived, laughter filled the hallway, and someone even shouted, "World Star!" Phones were capturing every second of it. Raven stepped over him like he was nothing but a minor inconvenience. "Told you," she said, her voice casual. And just like that, the balance of power at Sterling Academy shifted forever. The moment Grant Wheeler hit the floor, the entire Sterling Academy erupted. Cheers, laughter, and the unmistakable sound of phones recording filled the hallway. In less than a minute, Raven Tate had gone from just another student to a legend. Videos of her flipping Grant spread like wildfire, first through group chats, then onto Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. The caption: "Rich kid gets destroyed by black girl at elite school." By lunchtime, the entire school was talking about it. Even students who had never spoken to Raven before were suddenly eager to sit with her, ask her questions, and hear every detail about her martial arts training. Yo, she straight up destroyed him. I didn't know Raven could fight like that. She's a freaking ninja, bro. The attention was overwhelming, but Raven remained unfazed. She hadn't planned on becoming an overnight sensation. She had simply defended herself. Still, it was impossible to ignore the shift in the school's atmosphere. People no longer whispered about her in hushed tones. They spoke her name with admiration, respect, even a hint of fear. But not everyone was celebrating. Grant Wheeler had spent years cultivating his reputation as Sterling Academy's untouchable alpha. He thrived on power, fear, and the knowledge that no one would dare challenge him. Now he wasn't just a bully, he was a joke, a meme. The once feared king had been dethroned in front of the entire school. Rage burned beneath his humiliation. He refused to be remembered as the guy who got body slammed by a girl. He needed to fix this, to take back his power. And there was only one way to do that. While Raven basked in newfound recognition, Grant and his loyal goons, Hunter, Mason, and Tyler, watched from the sidelines, their faces unreadable. The whispers had already begun. This wasn't over, not even close. Raven should have seen it coming. Maybe if she hadn't been so distracted by the high fives, the endless questions, and the sudden shift in social dynamics, she would have noticed the warning signs. The way people whispered when she walked by. The way Grant and his goons stayed unusually quiet, watching her from a distance. But she didn't. And that's why, when she received a text from an unknown number after lunch, she barely hesitated. "Meet me at the gym after school. No cameras. Let's settle this." It was obvious who had sent it. Grant Wheeler. Of course he wanted a rematch. Of course he couldn't let it go. Raven wasn't scared. She should have been. By 4:15 p.m., the Sterling Academy gym was empty. At least that's how it looked. High ceilings, polished wood floors, championship banners hanging from the rafters. But the second the heavy doors slammed shut behind her, she knew she wasn't alone. "Big mistake coming here, Tate." Grant's voice echoed through the gym. Raven turned to face him, but he wasn't alone. Behind him stood Hunter, Mason, and Tyler, his most loyal followers. 3 guys, all bigger than her, all ready for revenge. So that's how it was going to be. Raven sighed, tilting her head. "Wow, you really must be scared of me." Grant's jaw twitched. "Shut up." He took a step forward, his eyes colder this time, darker. "This isn't about being scared," he growled. "It's about respect." Raven folded her arms. "You mean revenge?" Grant smirked. "I mean making sure you never forget your place." Her stomach twisted. She'd heard those words before. Words from people like Grant. People who thought they owned places like Sterling, who thought people like her didn't belong. She took a deep breath, forcing herself to stay calm. "Stay focused." Grant swung first. Sloppy. Full of rage. No control. He had no idea what was coming next. Grant's punch came fast, but not fast enough. Raven dodged effortlessly, twisting to the side as his fist sliced through empty air. His form was sloppy, wild, fueled by anger instead of skill. Amateur. Then Mason lunged, big, strong, but predictable. Raven ducked low, sweeping her leg in a clean arc. His feet left the ground, and he hit the floor hard, groaning in pain. 1 down. Tyler tried to grab her from behind, a desperate move. She twisted sharply, driving her elbow into his ribs. A loud crack filled the air. He staggered back, gasping. 2 down. Hunter hesitated, his eyes darting between his fallen friends and Raven, who stood poised, barely even breathing hard. Big mistake. She spun, delivering a precise kick to his chest. He flew backward, landing with a heavy thud. 3 down. That left only Grant. His face twisted in rage, his confidence crumbling. He charged again, throwing punch after punch, but Raven dodged every single one with ease. He was too slow, too desperate. Then, bam! A lightning-fast kick to his gut sent him stumbling. Before he could recover, Raven grabbed his collar and slammed him into the gym floor. Hard. He gasped, stunned. The once mighty Grant Wheeler lay beneath her, powerless. Raven crouched over him, her voice low and deadly. "Don't ever touch me again." Silence filled the gym. Grant's goons groaned on the floor, defeated, humiliated. This was supposed to be his revenge. Instead, it had become his second public downfall. By the next morning, the entire school knew what had happened. Again. The videos, the whispers, the rumors, it was all worse this time. Grant Wheeler was no longer just a bully. He was a joke. And Raven. She wasn't just a student anymore. She was legendary. By the next morning, Sterling Academy was no longer the same. The whispers had grown louder, the stares more intense. Grant Wheeler, once the undisputed ruler of the school, had been defeated, not once, but twice. And this time, there was no coming back. The video of Raven flipping Grant in the hallway had already been viral, but now footage of what happened in the gym spread like wildfire. The rematch that was supposed to restore Grant's reputation had instead sealed his downfall. Students watched in awe as Raven single-handedly took down not just Grant, but his 3 loyal followers. "She's a freaking warrior. Grant's officially done. No one's scared of him anymore. I need Raven to teach me how to fight." Raven had never asked for the attention, but it found her anyway. People who had never spoken to her suddenly wanted to be around her, to sit with her at lunch, to ask about her training. Some admired her, others feared her. But one thing was certain. No one looked at Grant Wheeler the same way again. His fall from power was complete. Gone were the days when students avoided his gaze or stepped aside when he walked through the halls. Now, when he passed by, all he got was smirks, whispers, and the occasional, "Hey, Grant, need help getting up?" He clenched his fists, but said nothing. There was nothing left to say. And Raven. She walked through the halls like she had always belonged. Because she did. No longer just another student. No longer just another girl who kept her head down. She was respected. She was feared. And Sterling Academy had a new ruler. Life often presents us with challenges where we must choose between silence and action. The story of Raven Tate teaches us a powerful lesson. True strength comes not from physical power alone, but from self-respect, resilience, and courage. In every stage of life, there will be individuals who seek to intimidate or diminish others to maintain their own sense of control. Yet, as Raven proved, fear only exists when we allow it to. She refused to back down, not because she wanted a fight, but because she understood that silence in the face of oppression only enables the oppressor. This lesson applies beyond the schoolyard. Whether in the workplace, social circles, or personal relationships, standing up for oneself is essential. Confidence and self-respect set the foundation for how others treat us. More importantly, they define how we see ourselves. For older generations, this message is especially significant. Experience teaches us that dignity is not given. It is upheld by our choices. Sometimes the greatest battles are won not through confrontation, but through unwavering self-assurance. Like Raven, we must remember, respect is not demanded, but earned, by knowing our worth and refusing to let others define it.